All right, so today I want to talk about this movie that I watched last night. So I was feeling a little romantical last
Mhm.
night, and I watched that movie on Netflix, which Netflix has been like pushing it down my throat for like forever, saying, I think you would like this. I think you would like this. So I watched The Idea of You yesterday. I was like, okay, fine, let me watch it. And I thought it was cute, right? I thought it was cute. However, there were some instances where I'm like, mm, 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 that I just didn't jive with too much. So I saw on BuzzFeed how people had a lot to say about Anne Hathaway playing a single mom in her 40s or just reaching 40 because you got to watch it, right? She turns 40 in the movie. So she's fresh into her 40-year-old hood. Um, but I don't know. I mean, no filter. I'm 42 and there are a lot of other women out there that are in their 40s and their 50s and are looking fabulous. So I don't agree with that. With people saying, well, she doesn't look her age. How is a 40-year-old woman supposed to look like? First of all, and plus we're in 2024, folks. Like, we're a little bit more aware now of mindfulness, meditation, yoga, right? Kind of like clean eating and things of that nature, walks, hikes, and all of this, right? That really it cultivate a more holistic, healthier person, which then it reflects on the outside. And Anne Hathaway has the money to be able to do all of that. So of course she's going to look good. And of course, a lot of these women with money or without may have like great genetic makeup as well that helps with that, and also have those great habits that they have cultivated in order to allow themselves to exemplify a beauty exterior just like their interior. So really, there's no set way of how a 40-year-old woman would look. And Anne Hathaway is just one example of how a 40-year-old woman may look. That's all I have to say about that. Now, the another thing that I didn't really agree with was how she felt like she couldn't wear a bathing suit in front of the 20-year-old girlies when she went on this mini vacay with her boy bander. And in the previous scene, we see her, right? We see her character in her jams and her nightie, looking all fabulous, as she's making out with her boy bander and doing naughty things with her boy bander, right? And power to you, great. But she had nothing to fear. Like, realistically, that Anne Hathaway has taken care of herself, and she looks fabulous with a two piece or with a one piece. And when she looks at herself in the mirror, I'm like, what is there to be fearful about? I can see if like a little snippet of an embarrassment for a stretch mark, because I think that's what, more often than not, I know my mommy body still has my scars from my pregnancy. And that is something that, yes, I'm very sensitive of and I'm very aware of. So while I'm in good shape right now, I still have the scars of that pregnancy and my body carries them, and I'm okay with them now. They're like my congratulations, your body just held on to this amazing human being inside and gave birth to it. This is um, your trophy for it. That's how I see it. But I can see that, right? If the writer would have input that into the script, kind of like this quick little moment of her looking at a stretch mark and having, you know, that hesitancy, that embarrassment that comes with it, right? At the beginning, a lot of us still carry that embarrassment off of that because it does show a progression of age in our body. And as we know in Western culture, right, we are hard on women that have age. We're very hard on them. And I think that's where a lot of the criticism when it comes to this movie comes from. It's just that ageism that we hold on to so much. But nevertheless, I just that was not jiving with me. That was not congruent with me. It wasn't very probable because we see the character's body, which is well cared for, right? Fabulous, amazing, right? So that fear that then the character has really doesn't have much merit to it when it comes to that scene. Then lastly, the last thing that I want to talk about is just as one who was a single mom, it's just that one bit of having to wait 5 years to be with someone who you love because our child now does not feel comfortable in it. And mind you, it's nothing, it's not like this is a human being that is dangerous or anything like that, right? One can argue that their lifestyle may be dangerous just because of the paparazzi and in the media and stuff like that, which I kind of get. But I go back to what are we trying to model as parents to our children? We know that children learn from what they see their parents and the people around them do as opposed to what they hear them say to do. So if we exemplify that it is okay to put our lives on hold because somebody in our family does not agree with this choice, right? And the choice is not one that is unhealthy. It's not one that is dangerous. It's not like we're choosing to go do drugs or go do this very high risk activity, right? We are choosing to embark in a relationship with someone who we have feelings with. That is the main choice here. Now, because of who that individual is, that choice carries a certain level of risk, which I understand. But I go back to what are we teaching that child, right? That we put our lives on hold if someone is not okay with it, or do we want to teach them instead to have open dialogue, have open conversations, and come to an agreement where we all reach kind of like this happy medium of mom can be happy and we can do something to make sure that our child is it's also happy. And there's ways. I'm a big believer in that there's ways, different ways to cut an onion per se, different ways to tackle something to where it's not like a zero sum game, you know. And more often than not there is a way, and I just didn't see that being exercised here. I thought that it became a very easy thing to give up, just because we found out that the daughter, right, was being bullied and stuff like that. So as opposed to attacking uh, the problem, which the problem was not that the mom was going out with this person. The problem was that people were reacting poorly. And then I go back to like, are we going to change our lives just because people react poorly to the choices that we make? Are we going to try to educate, right? Protect and mitigate uh, based off of our choices? I didn't see the mom attacking the bullying thing at school, right? Instead, she was like, I need to sacrifice my happiness so that way this can stop. So I just felt like at the end, the movie attacked the wrong problem. The wrong problem is not the mom falling in love. The problem is people's reaction to it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I don't know. I know this is going to be like very controversial, and I know people are going to be like, no, we got to sacrifice ourselves for our kids. And I get it. I get it. Yes. There's a certain level of sacrifice that occurs. When I was a single parent, I put a lot of things on hold just to make sure, because I was only one person, period. The dad was not and has not been there, not even for weekends, not for nothing, right? Just like I was really on my own with my child. So because of that, there were some things that I just couldn't do, because that means that will take me away from key moments in my son's life, right? And that happened quite a lot in his younger years, not so much in his teenage years. When he was more developed, he had a circle of friends, and he was more grown to where I could also have people help me in being in those moments that I couldn't be in, because now he's older, right? So, and he has more understanding of things and of life and so forth. So to me, it's just, it wasn't realistic, and to me, I don't think it drove the right message. If anything, it goes back into inculcating that um, parents have to sacrifice their well-being for their children. And I think that sends a weird message, because then we're teaching our kids to sacrifice themselves for others as opposed to pursue their happiness. And it becomes a revolving cycle.